Costezec's work. An important part of the work of Thierry Costezec consists in visiting and observing fallow-lands, suburban commercial business parks, concealed houses, buildings, districts, peripheral urban spaces, and taking pictures of them. It also consists in collecting photographic images of diverse origins found in newspapers, advertisements, so it's a suburb image, found in newspapers, advertisement collected in the street or downloaded from the internet. These are not only chosen because of their subject, but also for their particular visual qualities, by which I mean the qualities inherent to their poverty, because they are not only advertisement for famous brands, but most often third-rate advertisement. Indeed, interested in peri-urban suburban spaces, Costezec chooses signs and advertising images which result from such spaces, and which he scrutinizes, details, exhausts to the very heart of their materiality. Their textures and their photomechanical weft, their lack of precision, their now saturated, now washed colors. But his collection is not confined to images, it also concerns heterogeneous and relegated objects, candy wrappers, labels, packagings, printed fabrics, rubber gloves, balloons, tinsel garlands, etc. It also concerns short videos made by the artist as well as his numerous drawings. Since 2006, Costezec's Tableau integrates elements resulting from observing the photographs collected, details of hair or face, elements of typography, neon signs, advertising logos, etc. In an abstract, almost modernistic pictorial space, rectangular, flat, non-illusionist. This tableau no longer render anything identifiable, but seem to extract the materiality of images, and also through this their artificiality and superficiality, and the substance of vacant, unknown, fleeting suburban spaces. The photographic images undergo a significant number of manipulations. They are isolated, scanned, photocopied, refocused, enlarged. Their colors are often saturated, and they are associated on the wall of the studio with reproductions of masterpieces and with other elements of diverse origins, which I just evoked. All this contributes to generating passages between the images. The red lipstick of a starlet crosses the bright pink of a neon sign. The blue dress of a portrait of Anne so becomes a fragment of a plastic bag or a parrot's plumage, and conversely. To a certain extent, photography allows a unification of the heterogeneity of the sources of the painting. These associations, this sliding from one image to another, produce a polysemy which complicates the image, especially since they are not slavishly reproduced in paintings. On the contrary, by observing a tableau, it is impossible to isolate and to identify the source images. Indeed, Costezec preserves only elusive fragments, ruins of images, the concretion of which pictures a pictorial space crossed with white blank reserves. In his paintings, he provokes a deceleration of the gaze, a slowing down of an imagery conceived to be immediate, instantaneous, by multiplying the strata of inscription, overlapping, obliterations, and fading. the archaeology of which remains uncertain. In the numerous drawing collages he makes, Kostuzek preferred, rather than the pop register of the communication and the efficiency of advertising, a graphic and pictorial space in which desynchronized temporalities coexist. Stuck elements, less and less recognizable as such, are associated with painted or watercolor fields, arranging passages between graphic signs and with cuts of the support, whose unity is reconstituted by the montage process, which leave on the surface the fault line and the blank zone, which builds the coherence of the space compressed into a restricted depth. In Kostuzek's last tableau, the montage is more visible because the images are more recognizable than previously. It is because the fragments of images incorporated into collages are henceforth introduced into paintings, preserving the immediacy and the same scale as in the collage and in the drawings. And that's the drawing. These paintings respond with distance and humor to the constant flow of photographic images, the chaotic organization of suburban spaces, and the entropy of both such photographs and space. They mix colored and transparent layers stemming from the deconstruction of photographic images and cartoon-like or childlike drawings at once recognizable. Although these tableaux present a more hard-hitting percussive aspect, they do not work on the register of efficiency, like press or advertising. They show a predominantly heterogeneity of images, gestures, scales inside a composite, polysemic and unbalanced image. So, what does painting do to images? Whether regarding Suermont or Kostuzek, the evolution of painting more towards abstraction for the former or more representation for the later must not be considered as a general linear and irreversible progress of their respective work. It is in fact superficial and secondary. Suermont and Kostuzek think at first as painters, and in doing so, to think in terms of their medium, they turn to another language, foreign to painting but nonetheless close to it in many respects. Neither with Suermont nor with Kostuzek is a photography a model to be copied or mimicked. Both are aware of the profound modification that the photography caused in the act of seeing until recently with the advent of digital technology. This is the reason why photography is one of the privileged fields for their pictorial investigations. Beyond their interest in photography and a certain proximity in their respective processes of creations, the work of Kostuzek and that of Suermont echo two key ideas developed by Walter Benjamin in his famous 1936 essay, The Work of Art in the Age of Its Technological Reproducibility. On the one hand, the loss of the original introduced by the photography, the accelerated circulation of images and even their ubiquity made possible today by digital technologies. And on the other hand, Benjamin's dialectic between politics and aesthetics. The invention and the development of photography and cinema are contemporary with the age of the masses. Photography and cinema were identified by Benjamin as much as a potential means of emancipation of these masses by the politicization of aesthetics, and as a means of their subjection by the aesthetization of politics, that is, for Benjamin, fascism. Of course, the paintings of Suermont and those of Kostuzek do not directly illustrate these ideas, but The destructured representation of the crowds by Suermont questions media overexposure. What it really gives to see its power of fascination, the lack of information which it delivers, its intrusive violence, and the strongly altered representation of the suburbs, relegated objects and space with low legitimacy in Coste's paintings refers us to the margin of urban planning and to the entropy of economy and capitalism, of which the ever-obsolescent imagery of advertising is the most accessible vector. Each in his way, Robert Suermont and Thierry Costezec pay much attention to photographic material, which they scrutinize, and to the art of which, following the example of Roland Barthes in Camera Lucida, their glance rushes to disorientation, even blindness. Their paintings, stemming from complex processes of elaboration, bringing together collections of images, shots, montage, and collage, present unstable spaces, fragmented, open, contradictory, and of great heterogeneity. As a matter of fact, their surface works as the place of conversion of what W.G.T. Mitchell calls image towards what he names picture, the tableau generating in its turn another regime of image, carrier not only of a critical and political aims, but also a renewed experience of the pictorial medium fed by photography.